Welcome everybody! This is art class and it's me, Matthew Reinhart, or Professor Reinhart if you want to call me that. And we are going to make another art project. We're all stuck inside. We all have to do our part and remain locked down. So why not make something with our hands? Why not get a little creative, right? So first up, we're going to take one of our pieces of cardstock. And this one, I'm going to just use, this is going to be my base for my diorama, my pop-up diorama. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it. I'm going to make, what do we call it? A hamburger fold. See, I'm always talking about food in here. And I'm going to fold it right along the center, right there. We're going to line up the corners. And what I'm going to do, as we've done before, like sometimes if it's hard for you to fold that center fold like that, just use the edge of your scissors, just like that. Right along it. Okay, so now this is going to be our base. Well, now that we have our base, we're going to put that aside for a second. And we're going to take our one of our other pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a hamburger fold again. Da-da-da. Hamburger fold, the other pieces. Oh yeah, I love the hamburger fold. Just like that. I'm going to fold it the other way too, because what I want to do is I want to see where that fold is. And so if you fold it backwards, you can kind of see the fold a little bit better. And what I'm going to do, just so I can see it better, is I'm going to use my ruler, my pencil. I'm going to just make a line along that fold, just like that. Okay, so now what we're going to need is we're going to need a square that the sides all have this length from here to here, from here to there. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to use my other piece of paper because they're the same size piece of paper. They're 8.5 by 11. I'll fold it back in half. And so this distance from here to here is the same as this distance from here to here. And with a square, it has 4 of the same length sides, right? Little geometry there. You didn't think you were going to be in geometry class, did you? Well, you are. Okay, so we're going to use that edge as that measurement. Line it up right there. See how I'm doing that? Yeah, get down in there. And make sure it's lined up at the bottom, and I'm going to make a little mark right like that. Actually, what you could do is you could line it up just like this. Make sure that's lined up there, and we'll just trace along the edge. That's even easier. So now we have a square right there. Let's cut it out. Okay. So I'm going to cut this whole piece just like this. And we're going to save all these extra pieces of paper. I'm going to cut it up all the center like this because we're going to eventually have to cut it. And sometimes it's easier when you cut the paper and you cut one piece to make it a little smaller. Okay, we're going to save all those extra pieces of paper, and here's our base. Let's keep the base up here, up and out of the way. Push that in there. All right, you finish your catch-up break? Good. Let's fold this diagonally, just like me. I'm going to fold a corner to a corner like that. Oh, wait. I could use this to help me fold this here. So hold that. See how I'm pinching it and pushing it down with my finger? Or your hand like that? And I'm going to rub it just like that. See how I did that? Did you do that? Now let's do it the other way too. Whew, we have to do it both ways. So we flatten it back out. And now we're going to fold and make sure that there's a diagonal fold going this way. Can you see that? Like that. So I'm just going to turn it the other way. It's kind of making a fold. There's a cross in the folds. So let's look at it when we're done. That's what you're going to fold that square that we just cut. Just like that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut up just one of those folds, okay? Just one, like this. Using the scissors and cutting that fold. Look at that. We got two. It was a square, but now they're two triangles, and they both have a fold at the center. See how that goes? Right there, right there. Cool, huh? All right. Let's go back to our base page. Now we have our base page here, and we have our two triangles that we've cut. What I want to do is I'm going to tape this edge of my triangle. And let me make sure that this is marked so you can see it. I like to use a little pencil. on the edge there. So you can see where the fold line is. Can you see that a little better? You can see that a little. I'm going to use my ruler like this and make sure it's marked really well. And let's do it on the other side. You don't need to do this part. This is just for me to demonstrate to you where things go. Okay. We're going to use one-sided tape, and we're going to tape it, the triangle here, to this edge right here, to our base page. So come here, you. It's amazing how much tape can really I know it seems mundane, it seems like an everyday thing, but tape can really make magic. So we're going to use this one-sided tape, and we're going to just tape this edge of the triangle to our base page. So it's just going to be able to flop like that. Look at how that does that. We're going to do it on that side, and then we're going to do it on this side with the other triangle. So let's line it up. All right, and we're going to use some tape, one-sided tape. Oop, be sure you don't tape yourself. There's a little right there. And do a little, like what I've done is, instead of taping a huge piece going all the way across, what I'm doing is I'm going to tape it so that there's one piece on down here and there's one piece over here. Suddenly getting brighter again. All right, so I've taped it along this edge and along this edge. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to fold them down. And we're going to use a little bit of one-sided tape, and we're going to tape it sticky side up on this top edge. See how I folded it over? And we're going to tape it onto this edge here, like so. Can you see that? Sticky side up. And we're going to do the same on this side here. See how I did that on that side? And it's folded over like this. It's not going to tape down to over here. We're going to leave it sticky side up. We're going to do the same thing on this other side. So I'm going to fold it over, going that way. And then, I'm going to tape it sticky side up. Just like that. And let's do it one more time up here. See how I did that? Sticky side up, sticky side up, sticky side up, sticky side up. Did you do that? Does it look like this? Did you catch up? Okay, now we're going to make sure that they're flat. And then we're going to flip over this side. Mash it down shut. Make sure, if it doesn't go down flat, you can always pull up the tape a little and make sure that gets nice and flat. And that this edge here and this edge here lines up exactly with the edges of the green. All right? So now, did you do that? Did you mash it shut? Does it nice and all the pieces of tape are attached? Watch this. You should be able to push it. Wow. Okay, so we have our backdrop for our diorama. It's all set. Now, if you want to be extra careful, you could add, if you wanted, a little bit of extra tape on the outside here. If you wanted to add some, just maybe right there, just to keep it, make sure that it's nice and secure. See how I did that? Just add a little extra there. Maybe turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. Just a little piece, just on the other side, just to give it a little bit more anchoring. Stabilize it. Okay. So there is our diorama. But what we're going to need to do next, okay, now we need to start making the roof and the other pieces and all that sort of stuff. So let's take some of our scrap. Okay, so this scrap here, we're going to use this. Wait, where is some of the scrap that we cut up? We cut up, see, there's that scrap and this scrap. This was left over from our other pieces. All right. So now, this piece, this bigger piece, that's about half the size of our base, we are going to fold it long ways, or a hot dog fold, in half, like this. We're going to use our scissors. All right, so now we have this folded in half, and I'm going to show you where the line is with my pencil, just so you can see it. See that? Let's cut that right down the middle. Just like that. And let's use one of them. Let's put this aside. Well, before we use that, well, let's tape it on anyways. We're going to tape it to the top part, just to one side. So we're going to use some one-sided tape. Well, I'm just going to do this edge. How about that? And you don't need to run a long piece along here. You could just use one-sided tape. Maybe add 3 pieces. See how I'm doing that? 1, 2. And 3. Just like that. And all I'm going to do, okay, so here it is closed. Let's move in real close so you can see what I do here. We're just going to tape it to the top. Maybe I'll do it this way. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. See, I'm taping it to the top, just like that. So now it has a little roof, but it's real floppy. Ooh, pull back, you can't see. See, it's like floppy. We're going to take this piece here. Let's save this piece. This piece is as tall as this right here. We're going to save that. Let's see what other scrap we have. Let's see here. Well, we're going to take like one of these other pieces of scrap paper, and we are going to measure and use our pencil. Where's a pencil? Take a pencil, and we're going to measure. Now this is, we know because we folded this in half, and I know math, that this is 5.5 inches from here to here. But if you don't have a ruler for that kind of thing, we're just going to mark it like this. Maybe I'll use my ruler to mark it. Okay? We're going to take that and we're going to cut it. So now we have another piece, just like the one that was left over. We have this piece, and we're going to kind of use this as our, this is going to be used for, well, a lot of things, but we're going to use this to measure and make lines on our base like this so that we know where to put our different layers of things. So let's see, let's fold this. Let's fold it. This is that rectangle. Let's fold this rectangle in half. Okay. Okay. And let's fold it, let's see. Let's maybe fold it in half one more time here. See, I fold it twice, just like that. And then let's fold it one more time here. So you're going to fold it so that there are 4 rectangles. See how I did that? Okay, did you catch up? Did you fold that 1, 2, 3 times? I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to mark each one of these fold lines. Just use a ruler, just like that. Okay, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually make some little marks here on here. I'm going to make a little. It's going to be 1, and I'm going to make a little arrow like that, and that's going to be 2, and I'm going to make a little arrow, 3. And 4. See how I did that? And you don't have to do it real big, and you can do it in pencil so we can erase it later if we want to. This rectangle with the folds, we're going to use it as our measuring tool. And we're going to lay it just like this onto our base. We're going to start making some marks. So this is layer number 1. This is layer number 2, and I'm just going to, on this side, I'm going to make a little mark. And on this side. See how I did that? Onto the green. And I'm going to do the same over here for 3. And I'm going to do the same over here for 4. So look, I've got marks on my base. You know what I think I'm going to do? Because I'm just feeling crazy. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to slide this. Watch how I do this. I'm just going to slide it over there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And the reason why I do this is I just want to make sure that for sure we have lots of lines to line up our ruler on to make sure that we can get a good straight line going all the way across. All right? going to use another piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to use it as a straight edge. Watch how I do this. I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to line it up along that first bunch of lines, just like this. And I'm going to use a pencil. I'm going to make a line going all the way across. See what that did? Made a line going all the way across, and it touched each one of those marks I made. Let's do it again to the next one. So we're going to line it up. Oops, gotta look inside. So we're going to line it up. This is sometimes we can, if we don't have a ruler, we can use a piece of paper as our ruler if we're real careful. We're going to line it up and go right across just like this. Da-dee-dee-doo. There's the second line. Oh, we only need to make one more line. Let's line it up. You see that? Lining it up. Up. Make sure they all kind of line up. Let's get close to it. Then we're going to use our pencil. And if I made a little bump there, I made a mistake. Let's erase it. Just take your time, use your pencil, and also you don't need to make it super dark with your pencil. Okay, so we have all those lines. All right, and oh, here's our little piece here. Let's write a little message to ourselves. And sometimes I like to do this. This is 4, and this number is 3, and this line is 2, and this one up here is 1. All right, see how that goes? Okay, so let's put this aside for a little bit. Now we need to make some layers. We can make layers that have different things on them, depending on what we want to. Here's our blank. Depending on what we want to draw on these different layers, we can stick them in these places. So we do need to make two. We need to make 2 sidebars. These 2 things. These are going to be sort of these are going to be the roof stabilizers. So let's get that one piece. We had this one piece of paper left. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. This is the one. We have this rectangle left. This rectangle of cardstock needs to be as tall as the back of our diorama. So see how tall it is? So let's take this rectangle that we had left over of cardstock, and we're going to fold it in half, like so. Long ways. Hot dog fold. You can use your scissors if you want. And I'm just going to mark the edge so you can see that fold real well. So that's the fold that we just made of that rectangle. We're going to cut it down the center. Bam. 2. These are going to be the stabilizers for the roof. All right, so did you do that? You made 2 of those. We're going to take these 2, and we are going to use a little bit of one-sided tape. Where's some one-sided tape? And I'm going to close my diorama. And I'm going to tape it to this side, one of these stabilizers, to this edge here, just like this. So I'm going to use a little double stick, or no, excuse me, no, use one-sided tape, and I have it sticky side up, and I'm going to tape this top right to the edge, just like that. See how I did that? Uh-oh, I used too much tape. What do I do? What do I do if I use too much tape and it's sticking over the edge? I cut it off, just like this. See? It's gone now. You don't want any extra tape sticking over the side. So look at how it's floppy. That's what you want. Oops, so floppy that I hit my camera. All right, so we did that on one side. Let's do it on the other side too, with the other one. My desk is such a mess. Look at this mess. It's everywhere. Well, it's fun when you're making a mess, you know you're having a good time, right? We're going to just tape it to this side like this. Did you catch up? Awesome. If there's any extra tape, tape it off or cut it off. All righty. And we're going to tape those down. But you know what I think we're going to do? I think we're just going to, I know we tape these down, but I think in order for us to be able to draw and decorate let's cut the tape, let's cut it back right here. Let's just cut these. We're just going to cut very carefully and make sure the tape attaches. You could pull it up if you wanted. You could pull it up very carefully, or you could use your scissors just to carefully cut it back like this. I'm just cutting where the tape was. There we go. I just cut that off real quick so that we can flatten our pop. Sometimes when we're making crafts and we have to build parts, we have to rebuild them in order to get it just right. So that's what we're going to do. Look, up, made some mistakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this down, and we're going to tape these two edges down with one-sided tape. And look at that. They line up. Wait a minute. Look at this. Look at, oh, this is amazing. Look, it lines up exactly. We didn't even know this. It lines up exactly with this line. So what we're learning about, what we're making right now, we're using two different types of pop-ups. This type of pop-up that we just made for this roof. Now watch what happens with this roof. Kind of is like a box. See? Look, it pops up. Look at that. It's like a rectangle, right? So this is a layer. This is what's called a layer. All right? Look at that layer. So now we have the roof standing up, just like we want it to. And now let's add some more layers. Now we have to think, I'm going to add some layers. I'm going to use some other pieces of, I'm going to use one other piece of cardstock. And I'm going to add a layer onto here. I don't know what the shape's going to be. Maybe I'm just going to make, before I draw on it, I'm just going to make a big lumpy shape. And I'm going to make sure, because I don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm going to make sure that one side has to use the edge, the flat, straight edge of a piece of cardstock. This is where we get to freeform it a little. But you do need to make sure that you have a straight edge. But you can, just make it round. Now, I don't know what I'm going to turn this into yet, and we'll decide later on. I'm just going to make one shape that's kind of like this. Maybe I'll make another shape that's kind of like this. It's kind of like a big round hump. Because then I can put whatever I want to on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these inside here. One is going to be at line number 4. And one is going to be at line number 2. Like that. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to cut off these. Remember how we attached these? Let's carefully cut them, because we know we're going to come back to it. We're going to retape them in just a bit. I wanted to show you where they laid. We're going to just pull those up. So we tape those. We had those taped, but we cut them off again. And now let's tape this edge here for this bigger hump. Let's tape it down to number 4. Just like this. Let's tape this down. Now I know I'm having you tape stuff and then cut it, and look, I just wanted to show you how some of these principles work together. So, and we can always get some more tape and tape it back. So we have this one down, taped down, just like this on the number 4 line. And I just used one-sided tape. Did you catch up? Did you do that? Well, we want to make sure that when we open up our diorama that this always moves right. So we need to put a little rectangle in behind this and tape it to the back here. So let's use this piece. This was our ruler, right? Let's cut it into 4 pieces along all the folds. Okay? So we're going to use one, and it doesn't matter what number is on it. In fact, we can erase it if we want. We just need the rectangle. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to tape the rectangle. I'm going to move this up out of the way. We're going to tape it kind of like that. We're going to make sure the edge is lined up with this edge. We're going to tape one side down using one-sided tape on this top edge. We're going to tape it right here and here. See how I did that? Just like that. And then we're going to make sure that it's going down. Right? Let's close down. All right, let's use some more one-sided tape, and we're going to make sure it's sticky side up. And let's see, I'm going to cut it in 2 small pieces like this. And I'm going to use one on this side like there, and one on this side, just like that. So sticky side up, and then see this piece here? Remember this? We're just gonna flop it up going that way, and we're gonna press it down, make sure it tapes down. And now watch, whenever the back moves, so does this piece. All right, you just made a layer, look at that. All right, let's tape this other lump, this other one. This is gonna be the forward piece. And we're gonna tape it down to this fold right here, which is, or not fold, this line, number 2. See, and that's going to be our bridge. See how I did that? Did you catch up? All right, let's try it this other way. Now we're going to use some one-sided tape. We're going to turn it upside down. We're going to tape it to the end of the bridge. See that? See that just like that? And we're going to tape it in the sticky side up. Now we're just going to, watch this. Just going to flop this over. Now it tapes to it. Now watch. When we open and close, look at that. It pushes it like a bridge. Wow, look at that. Layers moving. Hey, you know what? I think we should add a layer up here too. Let's do that. Let's figure out what this scene could be. Let's start decorating. We want to make it while it's flat so it's easy to decorate. So let's get started. All right, I finished decorating mine. Oh, but we have to tape things back together again. All right, now we need to tape some stuff down. So let's get to it. Let's see our roof here. Let's flop it over. Oh, look, I even drew on some of those roof supports. And we're going to tape it back down to the base page here. So let's see where that goes. All right, let's get right on in there. Let's use another small piece. Now we did this. This was taped down before, but we cut it up. So let's just re-tape it down. This edge right down here. Tape it to the base page, just like that, using one-sided tape. See how it's attached now? And let's do that to the other side too. You might have to pull up one of your pieces so you can see it, but it's easy to do. You just pull it up, add a little one-sided tape, just like that. So now, when you open the piece or you push it forward, let's look back. Now that we've got, did you tape down both of your roof supports there and there? Did you tape them down? Now let's look. When it opens and closes, they're all attached. Look at that. On the top, it's attached to the base. The one other thing that we need to do is we need to tape these edges back down. Remember these were taped to the edges? So let's close our diorama, okay? So let's make sure everything's working right. Looks like it. And let's close it, make sure everything's flat, make sure everything goes just like that. Here's the way it should fold flat when it's going forward. See all these pieces? Sometimes they curl a little bit. Make sure they all are going forward. This goes forward, this goes forward. See how it all goes forward? Flat. Now I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to fold this back up. And we're going to use some one-sided tape. We're going to tape it back in place on this edge. Remember, we cut that earlier. Just going to tape it a couple times, just like that. Just make sure it's nice and, does it work? Yep. See how that is reattached? Let's do the same to this side. We'll use a couple medium-sized pieces of one-sided tape and just tape it to the bottom, just like that. There's one. Let's do it right here. And two. Now, our diorama automatically pops up. Now, I'm going to teach you, we need to make some little lockers here. We need to make some little squares that are going to lock this into place so we can display it open, and then we can unclick them and they can go down and we can just display it. So let's just take some scrap paper. We're going to make 2 little squares like this. Did you do that? Did you catch up? All right, we've got these 2 little squares. They can be about the same size. Okay? We're going to take, and we're going to make sure, we're going to make a little snip, 2 little snips actually. Just like that. So we have 2 little squares with snips out of them. Let's go back to our diorama. And we're actually going to use some double-sided tape. So this is the tape that has sticky on both sides. We're going to add it just to this side right here, just like that. See, it's sticky right there. Can you see it? Let's see if you can see it. It's reflecting. But anyways, there's a little double stick right there. Sticky. And what we're going to do is we're going to open our pop, and we're going to make sure that this edge here is as flat up against this here. And on this side, we're actually going to lay this on the back side of this roof support. We're going to make sure it's sort of just like, positioned just like that. So now we've added that little piece, and now when it's open, that little catches on this side triangle. And then let's do that same thing on the other side. Look, it stands up. But what if we want to make it flat? All we got to do is lift those up a little, and it's flat. And now if we want to lock it, it locks in place. Now, I'm going to show you how we can fix some of these issues. Oh man, this is so cool. So we could put characters in there. So maybe if you want to draw characters and add them in. Well, there we got it. We got our very own pop-up diorama, and you could add your own characters in like I did, but you can make whatever you want. You can turn this, just use your imagination. What sort of world are you going to create inside this pop-up diorama? What are you going to do? But that's all up to you, and you can do that on your own. So have fun. I hope you enjoyed this art class today. Wow, it was really fun. For me, I had a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, and stay safe and stay healthy. And stay kind. Stay kind to everyone. All right? See you next time. Bye-bye.